Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Van Orn and this is another Dragonheir Silence Gods video. I have finally gone through the storyline and activated all the activity for the Otherworld exploration. So I have the map here with all the bosses, the exploration, how's this called? Adventure preparation office where you can get your daily task and the domain possibly to unlock. Now, this event is the same for Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and the structure is the same. The bosses are different, the bonuses we get are different, but the structure of the event remain the same. And that is quite a disappointment in my opinion, because this system's been faulty from the beginning, and the developers have done nothing to change it so far. And I'm going to explain you why in a moment, showing you the calculation of the points and everything. But it is crazy that we've gone through Season 1 where pretty much a lot of people had very small accounts starting from Season 1, except those that did the beta, the closed beta, and the previous testing. Those accounts were more developed and probably could tackle these bosses with a lot more team from the beginning. But for most of us that started from zero, it was difficult to do a lot of bosses straight away. I don't remember how many team I've built by the end of the event. Probably 6 or 7 teams, maybe 8 teams. I'm not sure, but it wasn't that many. In Season 2 instead, I had a more developed account, and so when it came to building the teams for the bosses, I've started from probably 12 team or there around, and then build up the teams every day until I got up to 15 teams to try to go for the ranking. In Season 3, I believe most accounts will be able to hit 15 bosses straight away on day 1, and this is going to be a problem because, first of all, let's have a look at the event and what it should be. This is the end of the game, it's the last month where the server come together and fight this incoming threat that is the end boss, which will appear in 14 days from now. And in the meantime, everybody cooperate towards some task. And you can see over here that we get points every day if we do 1 adventure preparation, 1 elemental domain, and 1 chaos boss shadow. Was 1 chaos shadow boss. Plus, we get points for doing this repetitively every day. If we clear stage 5, we get extra points. When we do 5 bosses, we get extra points. And when you complete 10 tasks, daily exploration, we get an extra point as well. The Alliance should cooperate toward this task, and at reaching of 200 or 1,000 or 2,400, whatever, 1,500, 300 fights, respectively in bosses, domains, and exploration, we will get extra point as well. The problem is this scoring system, it's faulty. It doesn't really reward you as a player for doing so. The only advantage you're gonna get if everybody do it is to get the bonuses from the server, but we no guarantee that your server is going to get all of this done in time. You obviously are brought towards looking at yourself more than anything else and look, how do I score better? Because obviously by getting more points in Chaos Shadow and Otherworld exploration, you obviously rank better because you get a lot of eco of Clay Sajara, and you get a lot of affinity solvents and a lot of other materials all together. And so why would you trade your personal interest for the server interest when you have no guarantee that by the end of the time that this event come to the end boss, basically your alliance will have cooperated enough to reach this point? Your server would have done the same as you, taking down every day each of the tasks to cooperate towards these bonuses, which by the way are kind of lame. At least in Season 2 there was something interesting. There was some AoE increased damage, there was some healing. These seasons are 15% attack, 15% defense, and 50% HP. I mean, there's been no thought process in this. It's been just, okay, let's give them basic stats. That's it. There's nothing else. The boss is one boss. There's no many enemies, which is another disappointment, to be honest, because there is really no place for AoE so far. There's no, most of the bosses except one that spawns 3 little chicken have anything to do with AoE. And all these amazing AoE champions have really no place in this season. At least in season 2, where we had, you know, the introduction of Burn and Thunderbolt, where we're doing AoE damage. By the time we got to endgame, the boss was at least, you know, rewarding you for building AoE champions. This time, there's not even that, which is another disappointment. But let's get to the point, and let's get to the scoring point system. So I've done some math around this event, and I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can understand while I'm talking what are my calculations and where we get with the final scoring of this event. So let's say that in the first scenario, we do everything. We do our preparation, exploration, adventure, we do the elemental domains, we do the chaos shadow bosses, and we do everything at best. And my alliance do the same, and we see how much points we get. So let's say day 1, we do one task, one adventure preparation, which is what you should do pretty much if you go that route, especially in season 1. You should take out one task. You take one task and you get 100 points from the exploration office, which is over here. As you can see, if I do one task, I get 100. And this is called exploration progress point. So you get 100 for 10 energy. So you have 150 energy, as you can see over here, and you can do 15 tasks every day. So if you choose to do one here, you get 100 from here, plus 1200 points of rewards from here. Now, let's say that you do this one every day, but day 10, you're going to unlock this one here. So you get 3000 extra. And for the rest of the day, you're going to get your 1300 points. And that is for the daily exploration, for the adventure preparation task. Now, when it comes to the elemental domain, let's say that you clear one of them each day for the first 3 days, and then by day 4, you only do one elemental domain at stage 5. So you do on day 1, you do stage 1, which give you 100, stage 2 to give you 200, stage 3 to give you 300, what's on, until you get stage 5, and you get 500 points. So you get in total 1500 points by clearing one domain from 1 to 5. On top of that, you get the 1200 points, and you get your 3000s for clearing one stage all the way to stage 5. So in total, on day 1, 2, and 3, you get 5,700 points. And for the rest of the time, you're going to do only one stage 5, plus the daily bonus, which gives you 1,700 per day. And that is what we're going to do for the elemental domain. This leaves us with 9 fights on day 1, 2, and 3 for the Chaos Shadow bosses, and 13 fights for the rest of the time. And let's assume that we are good and we have a good account, and all those teams are hitting 22 millions, and so we get the full points for that, which is 2,500 points. It means that on day 1, I get the 2,500 times 9, because I've used already 6 energy for my exploration and my domain. I get the 3,000 bonus from here, which is this one, because I've fight 5 times. And then I get the 1,200 daily for my daily task. From day 2 until I finish with my domain, I'm basically only getting 2,500 times 9, plus the daily bonus. And then when I'm done with all the rest, I'm gonna have 2,500 times 13, because I'm using 1 energy for the preparation, 1 energy for the domain, and 13 teams. So I go all the way up to 13 teams, as I said, plus 1,200 from here every day, which basically bring me up to a big totals of points, which is 478,000 for the bosses. And let's assume that my alliance, my entire alliance, do the same. They're diligent and they do every task, and we get all the alliance exploration points, which are 5,000 basically for each of the three different tasks: the exploration, the adventure, the domains, and the chaos shadows. So I get an extra 15,000 points from there, getting me a grand total of 553,500 points, which is a lot if you look at that. It is going to give you a lot of rewards, because as you can see, basically past the 150,000 over here, you're gonna go on this part of the bonuses, and they are going to be on rotation basically. So this, when you get to the points of this one, you will start from here, and every 5,000 points you get some rewards. A lot of rewards. And keep in mind, this is going to impact your ranking. So every time you unlock this one, you get more Eco of Clysadra, and so you can rank up. Sounds good until you look at how many points you get if you only do bosses. So scenario 2, I don't do any adventure. I don't do any adventure preparation. I don't do any elemental domain. I don't even unlock them, because I'm not gonna do an adventure, so I'm not unlock this. I don't expect my alliance to do any of this except the Chaos Shadow bosses. So let's say my alliance is a competitive one and everybody goes for 15 teams. And so we forget anything else. We don't get any of those points, which might come anyway, because if my alliance decides, part of my alliance decide to do differently, I might get those points anyway. I don't get any of this extra points over here except for the Chaos Shadow, right? On day 1. And then I do 15 teams every day consistently without skipping anything for the entirety of the event, for the entirety of the 14 days. Well, guess what? My points are going to be 588,500. 35,000 points more than if I do everything every day. If I just focus on Chaos Shadow bosses, I get 35,000 points more. And 35,000 points more are worth all of this rewards, all of this, till down here. So it's a lot of Eco of Clysadra, it's a lot of affinity solvents, it's a lot of bread, it's a lot of everything. And even if you go down here and you look when they start rotating every day, well, this is 40,000. So it's basically an entire page of this, except maybe the last one. So you get potions, you get essence of creations, you get 12,000 Eco of Clysadra daily. Well, totals probably. You get a lot of rewards more. And this is not player fault. This is not because we are bad people and we exploiting the system. This is because the system is badly designed. It doesn't promote cooperation. It doesn't, because there is no guarantee that me doing the right thing for the server will benefit in any possible way. And on the opposite, me taking advantage of this is just looking at myself instead of looking at the server. I will get more points, I will get more rewards, I will get better placement on the scoring leaderboard, and if I do so, I will get more dice, I will get more chances to get legendary champions, I will get everything is going to be better for me. If I'm placing Ire over here, I get more War Marrow, I get more dice, I get more dice, I get a better chance to obtain champions for the next season 4, or placement for season 3, but the new champions for the season 4. Everything is going to go towards the point of me looking at myself instead of looking to the better good for the server. And the only downside of that is going to get that we're not going to get 2 of these bonuses on our server, but I have no guarantee, even if I do the right things and I do it for everybody, that we're going to get there. Because if we get to 99% on this too, I've lost point that I could have got from my scoring, I've lost resources, and I don't have the bonuses for the server. So it's clear that the system is not working. It's been clear that was not working in season 1 already. We reported to the devs. In season 2, we got so close on our server. My server is one of probably the most competitive. We got so close to not get these 2 bonuses. And I don't know how it happens that we got there. We got there on the last day, probably the last few hours, because some people were not bothered to build 15 teams. But season 3, with the bosses being so easy, as I showed you already in another video that I'm going to link up above, the teams are so easy that everyone is going to be able to run 15 teams if they choose so. And they should, because you get more points and more rewards for yourself. So why would you do any different? This system is faulty, and the devs need to take care of it and resolve the problem. We can't afford to have another season like this. We can't afford to have another endgame that is not working as it should. And I really hope that this video will help. I hope that one of the devs might come across this video, or if you guys push this video to them, because this needs to change. We need to find a different solution for this. We need to find, I don't know what the solution is, by the way, and if you have any idea, please feel free to comment down below. I have many ideas, but I don't know if it's the best one. I will limit the bosses fight, for example, not more than 13, and then maybe give a little bit more leadway on the scoring points, on the damage you do. So instead of capping at 22, get some extra points if you do more than that. So you're still making not an even playing. But so far the season has been so stale. The vortex doesn't impact that much the leaderboard, right? If you look at the leaderboard, I am 2029 right now. I'm falling a bit down because obviously people are starting to do the Chaos Shadow bosses. But this is not going to move much by the end of the season, because the Vortex basically give you always the same points. If you are in the top 10, you're always going to be in the top 10 because you have your power Rook. And that amazing Rook can do 500 million points in Vortex. And he's always going to do that every week. It doesn't matter what the boss buff are. You're always going to do that. And so your scoring and your placement is not going to change. The Otherworld explorations will not impact because everybody will run 15 teams, and so everybody will get the same amount of points every day because the score is capped at 22, and so everybody gets the same points. The only thing that's going to impact that is someone forget to do the fight, or they choose not to, and so you move some position up and down, but is it going to change much? No. So you have no chance really to compete for top ranking at this point. When we get to the end game boss has damage cap at 200 million. And again, probably the only team that is going to be able to do a lot of damage is going to be a Brook, because it's going to be broken as it is and blast through, do 200 million in the first 2 minutes of the fight probably, and then run forever until basically the score is stupidly high. But nothing else is going to impact, because most people are going to be able to run 16 with high score. I did it for season 2, and I didn't have any legendary artifact at the time, and I was close to 100, 150, over 150. I had some team that was doing 200 million already, and this season is not going to change. It's not going to be any different. And then on the second part of the fight, the boss will change and we'll have some different skills, and we're going to be in the same situation. So this entire system is faulty. I'm done repeating myself, and I wanted to put everything on a video because I want to push this to the devs, and it's clear as day to me that some change need to be taken here, made, because we can't have the end game, the big event we're building up through entirety of the season, 3 months to build up to the end game, and the reason why we reset every season to build up again and come to the event and have a snooze fest like this one. It is not sustainable long term. And so please comment down below if you have any idea how to fix this event, how to improve it, how to make it more fair for everyone and more interesting ultimately, because if it's not interesting, people will stop playing, and that is what I'm more in fear about. I don't want to be too negative, but I really don't understand why after 3 seasons this has not been changed. This is everything for today, guys. I'm sorry to be a bit ranty, but it is what it is. I hope to see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God. In the meantime, guys, have fun.